Joining us now, Ed Rollins, leading Republican strategist, Fox News political analyst, Juan Williams, Fox News political analyst. Gentlemen, let me turn to you first, Juan. This was an extraordinary high wire act by the president today, putting down tax cuts while bragging about having cut taxes, proposing higher taxes on the wealthy, but saying he's ignoring small business in the impact when straightforwardly, small business will be affected. S-corps, sole proprietorships, individuals.
Well, I think what you're seeing here is a political season in which you're defining your opposition. And right now, the Obama campaign is having success defining Mitt Romney as a rich guy or speaking for the rich guys of the world and out of touch with working class people, middle class people. And that's what this is intended to do. It puts Romney in a position of having to defend tax cuts for the wealthy.
Well, let me ask you, do we have to go back and rewrite the history books? Do we have to strike John F. Kennedy from the history books? Do we have to do the same thing with Lyndon Baines Johnson? Do we have to take FDR out of the history books? Teddy Roosevelt? The wealthy men have stood as great historically.
The problem, Lou, is this president doesn't know what to run on. He had another bad week last week with the economic figures. He's getting down to the short straws here. We've got 4 months to go before this campaign is over. You got 3 weeks where you're distracted by the Olympics, or basically fortified by the Olympics, those sports fans.
I promise you I'm not going to be distracted.
And the conventions are late this year, not relevant. Romney's out raising him substantially, and it's a dead even race. And I think the key thing here is he's back to the old formula of the Robin Hood politics of the Democrats: take from the rich, give to the poor, and it's not going to work.
Well, let me ask you this. Is it working? We're looking at a race that is a statistical dead heat, the battleground states.
No, that's not true.
Ooh, it's not true.
In battleground states, Obama has a pretty good lead right now.
Well, actually, in point of fact, it's a 2-point lead, according to USA Today.
You look at Ohio, you look at Pennsylvania, it's like
wait. You said it wasn't true, so I just want to be sure that we got the facts. USA Today Gallup, battleground states, dead heat, Obama 47, Romney 45. That's statistically a dead heat, is it not?
That's a Gallup poll.
Yeah, it's the, let me try this again, gentlemen. It's the USA Today Gallup poll.
Not to take Ron's time. The critical thing when you throw Pennsylvania and Michigan in that for 5 times have never voted 5 presidential elections, have not voted, those are not battleground stations. The battleground states are the Floridas, the Ohio's, the North Carolinas, the Indianas, the New Hampshires, the Colorados, the New Mexicos. Right. Now, when you measure those, you don't take 2 big states and throw that on top of that, because you are going to distort the poll. At the end of the day, this is a dead-even race at the top. It's a dead-even race state by state. For an incumbent president, he's in a terrible place to be.
But the advertising, this is what I'm saying to you guys, the advertising that he's been running right now has been hitting at Bain, has been hitting at the idea, as David Axelrod, the president's chief strategist, said last week, he's some sort of Nixonian figure that won't release his tax returns. And I'm telling you, what it's showing in the polls is that stuff is resonating, working. And I think what we saw today from the president in saying, I'm standing up for the middle class, I'm going to let Romney stand for the rich, echoes this very message. This is the message they're banking on going into this frame where we're defining the opposition.
They're fighting for Democrats that should have been there to begin with. And everything that he's done, from the gay marriage to basically the immigration program to what have you, he's going back after his own base that obviously he's had erosion. He is not bringing over independents, and he's certainly not bringing over any Republicans at this point.
Let me go back to my question, which is it working? Because as you look at these polls, this is a guy who wasn't, Romney, who's not even supposed to be in contention. He obviously is.
Well, I think Obama obviously has tremendous trouble on the economic front.
Sure.
And clearly, it's the #1 issue among voters is the economy. Now, I don't think, I disagree with Ed about last week. I think Romney had a tough time last week. And part of that had to do with, people just not feeling he has stated what he's going to do to deal with the economy. Americans want to hear a plan. When we looked at the most recent Fox News poll, people say Obama doesn't have much of a plan, but even fewer people say that Romney has any idea about what to do.
Have you heard a plan?
No, I haven't, and I agree totally with Juan. I think what he has to talk in terms of, he can't just be against the president. He has to basically be, this is my economic plan. This is what I want to do to get the economy moving again. I'm going to repeal health care, but there are some things that have to be fixed to bring down the cost and to give others that can't get health care some options. He needs to be talking about those kinds of things, and he hasn't to date.
Well, he's also not talking in such a way that he is considered, at least, to be communicating with the quote-unquote common man in this country. I would include, if I may, gentlemen, the three of us among that definition. And the fact of the matter is, I don't get that sense of connection. How about you?
No, you know, I think they beat up on Romney. Sometimes I worry that it's unfair, but I mean, Romney seems to, I mean, I don't know why he went on vacation last week on the power boat. It just seemed like he was playing to stereotype. What are you doing?
And he shouldn't.
He and his wife on a ski-doo. You know, that was looking pretty good.
You don't have to go back very far to find when people on vacation, as John Kerry being the latest example, get clobbered by it.
Right.
And as important as it was to get that $3 million yesterday out in the Hamptons, I don't think that's the right visual. He could have raised $3 million in New York City or somewhere else.
Right. So I mean, if Ed was consultant, I think Ed would have said, you know, had enough gravitas to say to him, "Get the hell out! What are you doing? Stop."
Yeah, I'm trying to evaluate after you said that. Park Avenue versus Southampton, or you know, I'm trying to figure out which of those.
But I think people
There's
want
no yachts in Park Avenue, at least.
People want Romney not only to define himself, but to get out there and fight Obama. And I think right now he's just not there. I don't.
It's a fully engaged campaign in which people aren't as interested as they should be, and there's no discussion of the issues that has to come.
And who's going to make that happen? The national media?
I hope so.
I don't think so.
Hope so.
He's an optimist, isn't he?
He sure shows signs of it from time to time. And thanks so much, Juan. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Lou.